Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why do growing businesses love working in Slack? Let's ask Christy at Ari Bikes.
Running things in Slack saves me so much time.
AI summaries save 97 minutes per week. What say you, Rox from Gosney?
Slack helps us build community, it helps us build connection.
Your partners, vendors and customers all in one place. Take us on home, Ashley from Caraway.
If we didn't have Slack tomorrow, I would explode.
Well, let's not let that happen. Visit slack.com/podcast to get 50% off Slack Business Plus.
Sunday morning. With us is Steve Cates, also known as Dr. Sky. And he has two great shows on WABC, and he's on every Friday at midnight and Saturday at midnight till 2 a.m., and he makes your minds stretch. Steve, what do you have for today?
Well, John, Happy New Year again to those that didn't hear it before, but let's talk a little bit about another mystery. How did January, the month, get its name? Well, John, the ancient Roman calendar began on March the 15th. People may not know that. But January is named for Janus, named the Roman god of new beginnings, like a doorway opening. And it was introduced by this king of Rome, Pompilius, back in 713 BC. But here's how the thing changed. Later in 45 BC, the Romans adopted the thing called the Julian calendar, like Julius Caesar, and then added both January and February to the calendar. They had a 10-month calendar. Now they have a 12-month calendar. So isn't that interesting, John? Every month has some symbolic meaning going back to the ancient Romans and the Greeks. Fascinating stuff to open up a new year.
Yes. I mean, how it all came about. But, my mind, I've been watching a lot of Star Trek shows from the 50s, from the 60s. Star Trek from 66. Then there was Star Trek Next Generation. Then it was, Voyager. And it's amazing some of the stuff that they come up with. Especially Voyager was made in 1995, and they're carrying around iPhones and iPads. And I don't think we had them in those days.
Not at all, John. And in some of those series, as you know, we talk about this whole thing about anti-gravity. They developed this whole amazing, anti-gravity propulsion. And this is way before probably even scientists really figured out if that's even possible. So you're so right. And, John, this gets more interesting, I think. What could be more interesting than the last story? Novas are new stars, John. Most people know that these are the collapse of stars at the end of their life. And there's basically two types. Type 1 are these white dwarfs that pull matter from a red giant, and then they explode. And then a type 2, these are massive stars that collapse when they run out of nuclear fuel because nothing's free in the universe. But, John, we've discovered a new type of nova. How about this one? A kilonova. What the heck is that? They're two neutron stars that if you got close to them, John, the weight of that tiny little object the size of the Earth, even a spoonful, would be bigger than, say, the New World Trade Center as far as weight. So they're collapsing neutron stars that create something, John, that's even more mind-boggling in the universe, like ripples you would see in an ocean or a pond when you throw a rock in. These are called gravitational waves. So these kilonovas are like one of the most powerful sources of energy in the universe. If the beat goes on, the mysteries continue, John. It's amazing.
Now, tell us, whatever happened there was a story lately on Mars again, that they found some viruses or they found something. Do you know much about it?
Well, John, all I can report is we reported this a while ago, and there's no real new information. The Perseverance, as it's running around Jezero Crater, where they think water once was, the best place to look, the camera picked up these dark things, they call them leopard spots. And in those leopard spots, it's thought, the analysis is not 100%, it scoops up, puts them in little test tubes, and drops them off for some mission someday to pick them up. But it may be one of the first signs, John, of more accurate to report whether or not we have found organic life on Mars. I believe it, I'm sure you do. that Mars at one time might have been a very flourishing planet. But look what happened to Mars over the course of billions of years. Its atmosphere boiled off. We don't know why. It probably had free-flowing water, and who knows, maybe even plants, and imagine animals. Who knows, John? That mystery's big.
Well,
And
and I'm still about the two moons, that one of them might be artificial. That was still strange.
It is, and this is interesting, too. Where the Vice President J.D. Vance lives, we all know, or many do know, that he lives at the U.S. Naval Observatory. So in August of 1877, an astronomer with their big giant telescope there, his name was Asaph Hall, in a foggy night, very humid, back in August of 1877, John, he discovers two little moons that move around, as you mentioned, strange moons, Deimos and Phobos. These are the horses from the Roman god Ares, Mars, the god of war. The horses are named Deimos and Phobos, meaning panic and fear. But the most amazing thing, John, we've talked about this, and hopefully they'll send a spacecraft there. How can little Phobos stay in orbit when it's so close to Mars? And maybe, just maybe, right, John? There may be some artificiality to this particular moon. It's a little asteroid, we think, but it's the strangest thing in the world, or in the universe, or the solar system. The beat goes on as to what exactly underlies Phobos and little Deimos.
Wow. Anything else to tell our audience out there this morning?
Well, John, I'm always proud to do the mystery of the week, and it goes like to the first story, but here's the question. How did our calendar get so complicated? So our so-called modern calendar began, as I mentioned, with 10 months back in Roman times. It was changed to the Julian calendar, as we mentioned, with 12 months. But, John, here's the problem. Calendar people, Earth people, are trying to tie in to fit the imperfect astronomical cycles into neat numbers that make sense. So we have this thing called calendar drift. So what do? They added things called leap days and leap years. And because of these imperfections, the present calendar, of course, is now hopefully more in tune with the solar year. But the strangest part of it, John, is Pope Gregory XIII, back on October the 4th of 1582, because he wanted to see if they could organize and reset the Easter date. Imagine waking up on October the 4th, 1582, and by decree, the Pope says the next day will be October 15th. So we lost all those days in between because, John, the calendar is still not perfect, as we know. The Earth's orbit is not perfectly circular. That's a total mystery. And we still have to make corrections because nothing's perfect, because everything in the universe is changing.
Well, Steve Cates, thank you for coming on, and thank you for expanding our minds, and God bless you and God bless America.
And thank you, and to all those that listen to the Dr. Sky Experience, proudly here on Talk Radio 77 WABC, because of you, John, and your family. Thank you so much, and everyone, have a wonderful Sunday.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.